Story 1. The infinity symbol with birds flying out of it. Bonus points if it includes the word family or strength in cursive. Story 2. Lion tattoos on men have always seemed rather unserious to me. No hate. Some of them can look cool, and I understand the king of the jungle symbolism. However, the men I've encountered with lion tattoos often work as middle managers and drive sedans. Sir, you're not tough, you're a suburbanite. Story 3. One of my kids really wanted a Liverpool Football Club tattoo, so he wrote Liverpool tattoo on his arm. I was quite impressed. Story 4. Text in Japanese or Chinese by someone who isn't Japanese or Chinese, especially if they believe it translates to a deep soul or wolf. Story 5. Almost any ink can look boring, but still have meaning. Perhaps it has significance from a long time ago, sharing a memory with a friend who is now gone. I don't want to jump to conclusions about ink, even if it is a simple tribal band or a butterfly tattoo. It could hold great meaning for the person due to their connection with it. Story 6. God is greater than my highs and lows. Jesus symbol, Jesus gesture, lipstick kiss, anchors, national pride fan art, offensive symbols to be a fool, guide to tattoo ideas. Story 7. If you are worried about what other people will think of your tattoo, then you should not be getting a tattoo. Tattoos are for you, not for other people. Story 8. Getting a tattoo in a language you don't understand can be risky. Many people got the Arabic tattoo that translates to "I'm rotten" in the 2010s because they thought it meant appreciate life. Story 9. The very large tribal tattoo on my back means nothing. Does it have any personal significance? Now, was I 19, just moved out of my parents' house with a lot of graduation money, and thought it looked cool and that I would never regret getting it? Yes. Story 10. My boss, at age 60, decided he wanted a tattoo sleeve. When I asked him why he chose that design, he simply said he told the tattoo artist to ink whatever was cool. Story 11. Brand logo tattoos can be quite striking. I once saw a person with the afflicted logo tattooed across his forearm. However, the most cringeworthy tattoo I have ever seen was a wealthy individual who had the Polo Ralph Lauren logo tattooed on his chest. This way, even when he wasn't wearing his country club attire, he still had the same logo displayed in the same spot. Story 12. I might get criticism for this, but tattoos are deeply personal and not a competition for creativity. I have a tattoo inspired by example pictures at the tattoo shop. I love it deeply and have had it for almost 20 years. My brother has a custom tattoo with a very personal meaning, but just by looking at it, you wouldn't realize that. Most people might see it as a strange, sad tattoo lacking creativity. He loves it. Story 13. I understand the love you have for your children or parents, but people's faces change over time, and the risk of the tattoo not aging well is significant, especially as your skin sags. Even if it looks good initially, there is a high chance it may not hold up well later. Consider collaborating with the artist to create a beautiful tribute to your loved one instead of having their face tattooed on yourself. Story 14. Skull and roses, your birth year, infinity symbol, dream catcher, Joker-themed items, basic items. Story 15. Infinity symbol with feather or a word. Lower back tribal tattoo, popular in the 2000s. In Germany, it is called Arschschuh, which translates to ass antlers. Story 16. Absolutely nothing. Tattoos tend to have meaning for the people who have them, so it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Story 17. I am curious about the comments regarding roses. Are you referring to roses in general, or is there a specific design or style that matters? I ask because I have two, but I created them myself. The artist enhanced them as I am not an artist. I am curious to know how others would view them. Story 18. Tattoos with foreign characters, such as Japanese, Korean, Chinese, and Arabic, are often chosen by individuals who think they look appealing without understanding their meanings or having visited the corresponding countries. Story 19. For me, Bible verses might be personal to you, but most people are not going to know what they mean. Getting a location tattoo like the city or state you live in, or any kind of sports team logo can also feel meaningless. The one that I find stupid and boring, with no thought involved besides showing off, is a cannabis leaf. It was meant to be rebellious, but now it just looks silly. Story 20. These comments prove to me why I will never get a tattoo. People can be so judgmental. Story 21. I do not view tattoos as a statement on a person's creativity. That is not their purpose. Story 22. I'm going to catch some criticism for this one. Birth dates and child names. Is it significant to the person receiving it? Absolutely. Is it completely devoid of imagination and basically just copying some data on your skin? Also yes. Story 23. I often saw individuals at the methadone clinic with similar tattoos. Their children's names, words like loyalty, family, gratitude, and phrases such as one day at a time, or their sobriety dates were often tattooed on them. These tattoos were typically found on the forearm or neck. Story 24. I think if someone gets a tattoo, they want it for a reason and are most likely happy with it, so I am happy for them. I don't judge what anyone considers creative or fun on their own body. Story 25. No tattoo screams, I have absolutely no creativity. There are many reasons to get a tattoo, and not all are related to creativity. Story 26. The anchor with I refuse to sink or similar is ridiculous because that's the whole point of an anchor. Story 27. Anything you selected from the book in the shop. The first image that comes to mind is of a black panther climbing vertically, which always appears to have 3 small red lines simulating cuts extending from the top paw. Story 28. Tribal tattoos. Unless you're from a tribe. I have 2. 19-year-old me wasn't the best decision maker. Story 29. Flash tattoos. Barbed wire. Prison tattoos like spider webs or tears. 2000s tribal designs. Bands like lines. Brands such as Chevrolet, Ford, or Monster. Barcodes. Names. Crosses. Story 30. Anything cultural when you're not part of that culture, such as Maori arm tattoos, when you were born and raised in London. Story 31. A tattoo that is a replica of another person's tattoo features flash art on the wall. The design includes pine trees around the forearm, black and gray sleeves depicting Greek sculptures, silhouettes of birds flying away, a dandelion blowing in the wind, and tribal elements. Story 32. I'll answer a bit differently. If you're contacting an artist with your Pinterest board of ideas, I hate to break it to you. I think the question is better suited for tattoo artists. Many of the suggestions here haven't been in style for a long time, with examples being that I haven't done kanji or an infinity symbol in years. We often joke about what people think is original, but we do constantly. People have no idea that what they are doing today is tomorrow's infinity symbol. They laugh at infinity symbols, yet request things we often do multiple times a week. Story 33. I remember a tattoo artist once complaining about the sheer amount of semicolons he had to tattoo on people. It could have been a dot. I could have killed myself, but I didn't. I decided it should not end there. Very nice. Very obvious too. You are only one in a million who thought of that. Story 34. Tribal designs for individuals who do not identify with tribal culture. Any kind of butterfly. Gothic-looking wings across the back. A very small basic tattoo that is hard to see and has no meaning other than, I wanted a tattoo but didn't know what to get. Any self-motivational quote. Story 35. Let's face it. Most tattoos are not very creative. Even personal tattoos tend to be quite ordinary. Even a tattoo that is elaborate and artistically impressive, like the one of Beetlejuice that appears on the internet from time to time, still simply means, I like Beetlejuice. You can wear Beetlejuice on a t-shirt. We are reaching a point where the truly rebellious and countercultural individuals will be those who have never had a tattoo. Story 36. I saw a man with Pablo Escobar's mugshot tattooed on the back of his calf the other day. It was a very good portrait, but a strange choice. Story 37. Praying hands. My neighbor wanted to get one, and the artist showed him pictures of the last tattoo they created. Now she has a radio on her arm and a heart with spark plugs on her chest. Story 38. Lord of the Rings fans who get a Shards of Narsil tattoo earn bonus points if it includes a ring of words from the One Ring, or if the hilt transforms into the White Tree of Gondor. Story 39. I would say none, but then I think of my ex who got a staff of Aesculapius, the medical symbol of healing. She didn't work in the medical field in any way. She just liked it. She told me she was getting it on her leg and assured me that it wouldn't be painful where the bones are. She was very wrong. Story 40. I never understood the trend of getting clock tattoos. It makes sense if you are obsessed with time, but otherwise I don't understand it. Story 41. You simply need to play the long game to make your unconventional tattoo work. Start with an infinity symbol, wait 10 years, then earn a mathematics doctorate. Now, while your tattoo may not be particularly creative, it will make sense to others because of your connection to mathematics. Story 42. I find the angel wings on the back repulsive. They are not evenly spaced apart. Instead, they are clustered together, leaning to one side. Story 43. E equals MC squared. It is for individuals who want to appear intelligent without putting in the effort to learn. Story 44. A plain straight line. I have observed this trend over the last few years, and it seems that the person desired the experience of a tattoo but could not be bothered to think about what to get. Story 45. I knew a girl who had a bow tattoo featuring an arrow with an infinity symbol, and the bow incorporated a dreamcatcher design. Story 46. Black and white roses and butterflies adorn my little sister's world, along with a melting smiley face tattoo. I love her dearly, but she hasn't yet discovered her true self. She still has a few more years before her frontal lobe is fully developed, and we, her siblings, hold out hope that she will develop genuine interests and experience personal growth in the years to come. Here's hoping it happens before she runs out of space for more tattoos. Story 47. The one on my shoulder is a skull with broken crossbones, a bandana, and a rose. Youth and inadequate active duty pay do not lead to good decisions. Sigh. Story 48. When I was younger, I spent time with some troublemakers. I attended many motorcycle club parties. One of my friends was covered in tattoos. None stood out except for a unicorn with a smiling pink cupcake, complete with little arms and legs, riding on a rainbow. These tattoos were in full color. He said he loved the idea of someone having to explain who had confronted him as the guy with the pink cupcake and unicorn tattoo. Story 49. Any verse, scripture, or known sayings highlight how unique and special you are. I appreciate people enjoying their own artwork, but please spare me the attention-seeking behavior. Story 50. The old nautical star may have meaning for some, but to me it represents unoriginal tattoo work. The same goes for the flames and trees on the forearms. Story 51. Snake tattoo, bonus points if wrapped around forearm. Roman numerals, extra bonus points if on collarbone. Feather tattoo, finger tattoos of henna designs. Flower tattoo on shoulder. Story 52. So many tattoos stand out. Roses on the hand can be beautiful, especially on creatively inclined individuals. Barbed wire around the arm. A butterfly as a lower back tattoo. Most tribal designs. The United States flag. Underboob tattoos. Christian crosses. Any tattoos related to God. Memorial tattoos with dates. Story 53. I've scrolled quite far and have not yet seen an anchor. Bonus if it says, I refuse to sink. Story 54. I have a friend who got Live, Laugh, Love years ago before it started appearing everywhere. Now she regrets it. Story 55. My entire sleeve expresses a lack of creativity because I asked my artist to create something cool based on the themes they worked with and let them come up with whatever ideas they had. Story 56. I can't be the only one looking through top comments to see if mine is there, right? And no, mine isn't there, so I guess Kraken and dragons are creative. Story 57. Is anyone else laughing at themselves because they have at least 2 of the tattoos mentioned in the comments? I love my back piece, even if it is a tribal rose inspired by a shirt I saw at the mall. Took 10 hours to complete and reminds me that I am tougher than I think. Story 58. A tattoo of a game or show, especially one that isn't concluded yet, can lead to significant regret if the story turns out poorly. This makes me wonder about anyone who got tattoos related to Game of Thrones. Story 59. I shouldn't really comment because my tattoos are unique and I'm covered in them. I do work at a tattoo studio, though, and I'd have to go with the classic peony. We receive at least one request a week, if not more. Story 60. I became a fan of the trend among football players who displayed their initials on the back of their arms during my college years. Story 61. When they are covered in a collection of random images, words, and quotes, it can look cluttered. When they all follow the same theme, it is acceptable, but when that theme is a mix of unrelated items, it appears unattractive. Story 62. There are many women with various designs that resemble children's doodles or graffiti on a bathroom stall. It's just bad. Story 63. I feel that lately, at least in my age group, many girls have fine line tattoos, specifically flowers. Otherwise, there are just very basic fine line tattoos from Pinterest. A friend of mine got all of her tattoos from Pinterest, and I believe they are the most uncreative designs ever. Story 64. The person in the Lost subreddit who got Matthew Fox's Party of 5 tattoo is calling it a Jack from Lost Tattoo. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.